Now then, so today, I mean, I have a ton of decks I want to try out, but the one we're using today is Congregation. So what we've got going on here is exactly what you would expect, just a ton of Firesworn cards. Um, and the general idea is we're looking for two pretty long rounds where we can go quite far in round one, dry pass round two, have a long round three. So that gives us time to develop a uh, ton of zealots, ton of footmen, all that kind of stuff, fill up our board, and then use Diazere and Sacred Flame to really beef up our board. And we basically have an absolute ton of ways of getting lots of units on the board and lots of ways to benefit from it. You'll be really familiar with this if you've used this kind of list before, but in case you haven't, we have cards like Congregation, Smuggle, Fire Disciple. We also have Helvede. Just all of these cards are going to generate a huge amount of zealots on the board. And because these are spawned units, that means that if we have a Fallen Knight on the board, every time we spawn one of these, Fallen Knights getting boosted up. If we have Eternal Fire Priests on the board, whenever you spawn one or more units, boosts up by one, so that's really big. We have our leader that's going to generate them. And then in terms of like closing out the game, once we've got all these set up, we play a Diazere. This is going to boost everything by one, while also damaging a unit by three. Sacred Flame will also sort of sit there, and whenever we want to press it, all our Firesworn get boosted by one. We also have some really nice kind of interactions going on with things like Cyrus, Hemelfart, should I say. So Hemelfart can play a Congregation when he's played. You get 4 coins, and you can destroy a token. And because he spawns Congregation, you're guaranteed to have one. It costs 2 coins, but he has Profit 4, so you're guaranteed to have the coins. And so you can basically give up a Zealot to get like a Fallen Knight, for example, back out. Or say you need another Eternal Fire Disciple to start spamming out the board with Zealots, you can go for that. And one of the cards that is really, really nice that's been added, or rather changed, is Damnation. So before this it was kind of a bad card. It used to deal 2 damage 3 times, and for every unit it destroyed, you spawned a Zealot, I believe, which was just really bad. That's like low roll of 6, high roll of 12 for 6 provisions, which is kind of weird. However, what it does now is you destroy a unit, and it will create a Firesworn unit with 4 provisions plus the power of the unit you destroyed. So if you just destroy a normal Zealot, which is just 2, you get 6, so that's either a Fallen Knight or a Procession of Penance. You can make the choice. However, the top end is where things start looking really, really interesting. So, for example, if you destroy a 6, you can get a Von Hurst. If you destroy a 6, you get a Helvede. Sorry, if you destroy a 4, you can get a Von Hurst. If you manage to destroy an 8, which Shocks can become, for example, you can get another Hemelfart. So there are some huge, huge plays you can do with Damnation. We do also run Fairco, so we can tutor out that Damnation, tutor out that Diazere, make sure we're hitting these important cards. And then we just have some very solid stuff in the way of Junior, Vivaldi's Bank for consistency. And of course, Shocks is a Fireswarm, spawns Footman on the board, is also a spender. And the final thing I wanted to speak about was how good Eternal Fire Disciple is. So this is like a really card you wouldn't really look at and think, yeah, this is ridiculous. Because it's a 3 power 4 provision card that gives you 2 profit and has the fee of 1 to spawn a Firesworn Zealot and a cooldown of 1, which initially doesn't seem wild. But the wild part about it is you're paying 1 coin for 2 points, which is the most efficient spender in the game, which is on par with Philippa. There's literally no other spender in the game that matches that. People used to go absolutely insane about Tunnel Drill, and that was 1.5 points per coin. And Eternal Fire Disciple gives you even more. And not to mention the Zealots you spawn have the potential to be worth more than 2 points. For example, if you play this in a round where Dia's Area and Sacred Flame. That's going to go up to 4. Basically means that the Eternal Fire Disciple is 4 points for 1 coin, which is kind of nuts. So yeah, this deck is just basically you filling up your board, get a lot of points. Not a great deal in the way of interacting with your opponent's stuff beyond like Orson. And it's just kind of fun. It's a really fun deck. Not a great deal of thought goes into it. The only thing you have to do is be careful about your row size. You don't want to stack your row with units. Before I do go into the games, by the way, minor issue for the channel is Rhonda has got the old corona. We're both double jabbed, but I will inevitably be getting it anytime soon. So maybe a little bit of a blip in content coming out if I get struck down with that. So yeah, that'll be fun. And now on that heartwarming topic, we'll go into some games. Almost forgot to hit record on that one, but yeah, here we are. We're Bridge of the Sea. Could be a little annoying, but we may be able to swing that in our favour later on with on her switching things into and all kind of fun stuff. So in terms of this round, we do have Dia's Area, which is super nice. Keeper of the Flame, I don't think we need. Jocks is a little expensive. Kind of sad. I wanted to find a Fallen Knight, but yeah, can't always get what you want. Can't always get what you want. So yeah, we'll boost this right up. This is pretty much out of the reach of the vast majority of stuff they can do to try and harm this. And then we'll chuck down a Von Hurst that's going to start spitting these out once a time. Very nice. Very. What we'll kind of wait for is if Rain gets spawned, if these get knocked down to 1, for example, we just Von Hurst, get it boosted up. At the moment... Sorry, I forgot we had Congregation. I was thinking Berko was bricked, but... Actually, when one of these gets bumped down to 1, we'll just chuck an Eternal Fire Inquisitor down. Scratch that, we're 1000% going to kill this. Super awkward for them. Obviously, Ryokun's in deck, so we are going to push around. And same game plan. I mean, sure, like, this one could die. The only option there was like using a leader to consume it and all that stuff, but I don't really care enough.
Nobody expects the
we'll actually pop it on this row because Von Hurst is ticking away on that one. And then this will spawn out a fresh Zealot. I wasn't completely convinced on these, to be honest. A little bit of a weird card. But I think they've swung me over. You know, this is played for 9, actually, so that's pretty good. Pretty damn good. I think we'll go for a Smuggle, just because we kind of need the coins. That's actually why I'm running Mutant Makers. The kind of reason being, like, we don't always need coins, but we need to get a few. We want like a few, and our leader will give us a couple. And we'll get like a couple off of Hemmelfart and obviously the Fire Disciples, but we do need a few, just some. So it's very helpful for that. And honestly, we're getting very close to the point where we may just want a Dia's Area. We could go for a Congregation, just fill up the rows quite a bit, but I guess this row we're not going to be spending with anymore. We want to set up for a really good Dia's Area to kind of beat them out of this round, because then we can go into a 6-card round. With this hand, I'd be super comfortable with a 6-card round, and Basically, the problem is we can't deal with the Ryogan. That also hurts quite a bit, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. Just do. Have we got anything non-Firesworn? Because we can just hit something for the extra point. Everything's Firesworn, isn't it? Yeah. Takes away the damage units for them as well. So their Warcry is offline now. And we're up by 25 points, so I will be very, very happy to pass. We're up by 27 points actually, because Von Hurst is going to spawn another 2. So yeah, I'd be very, very happy if they play in here, because we just instantly pass. Good stuff, good stuff. So what we're kind of looking for is we need to get these out. I kind of don't care if we lose the round. If we see Ryogan come out, kind of happy, because our board just, it doesn't really matter how big our board gets. If a Ryogan comes down, we kind of lose. So we really want to find Fallen Knights. We want to find Cyrus. We want to find Ulrich. And we'll fart. There's just stuff we want to find. And risk of bricking Ferka is really high, but never punished. Never punished, I guess. So just a small thing. Well, a small thing is we want to get this out, so we can start getting the value here, so that Yazira will be really, really nice. Right now we can go for Damnation should we want to. I have something far more disgusting in mind though. So let's just pray this sticks, alright. But my plan is I'm going to double leader, get this up to 8. Damnation on Jax to get another Cyrus. Which will be kind of, to be honest, it's a huge amount of points. And we got away with it. Good stuff.
The eternal fire lights our way.
Gives us more coins. I don't actually think there's anything we want to pull with Cyrus right now, but it's a huge threat just to have that available. I think what we'll probably do is chuck down a Sacred Flame as well. On a Sacred Flame.
Yes, you. Have you made your offering?
We'll. I mean, this makes sense in terms of point. What? Okay. I think that's a lot bugged then, to be honest. That is very, very bugged. So I think what happened there was they basically, that's super annoying. The looks like Hemelfart summons the unit before the token dies. So because it tries to summon it to a full row, it can't summon anything. Which then kills the summoned unit, but you still spend, you still lose your thing. Yeah, that's super annoying. But yeah, this is a board that they'll have trouble dealing with. They can obviously chuck Storm on this row, but you know, we're looking okay. We're definitely looking okay. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. That is definitely a bug. I'll probably chuck that over to the devs and let them know about that one, because that's not exactly great, is it? Yeah, I'll dip out now. But yeah, that's super annoying, because the way it should work is that dies and then summons. Holy. They have definitely teched for the state of the meta, which I respect. I mean, Rain's always going to have a matchup here. Just see if we can get anything out of it, you know. And we finally find the Fallen Knight. A little bit late to the party, but it's what it is. There's still a few good things to look for, so we'll... Procession's pretty good. Procession is pretty good. Obviously Ulrich would be super nice, but I don't fancy fishing for it. We risk bricking Furco, it's really not worth it.
The goddess protect you from all evil.
Right, they've got Fukusha. This is going to be painful. This is going to be real painful. Right, what are they going to have left? They've got Fukusha, probably a Bride of the Sea. I'm very, very scared of the Gut and Slash.
This grimoire, clear without checking. It's on the list of forbidden tomes.
Decoction, obviously, but I'd rather play around a Gut Slash. Okay, they've 100% got Gut and Slash. That's a very Gutting Slash-esque play. And we kind of don't care if he dies now. He's done his job here, basically. Wow, that is a greedy list.
He venerates not the fire.
Then Fushuryogen. Fushuryogen's not insane, which is kind of why we shortened up the round. I mean, of course, he's going to play for 2 or 6. Oh, can they not? Oh, they can get Sigdriff, I can't. Oh, they can't. They can't res it. Oh, that's really good. It's not quite enough, but yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I'll leave this in because if anything, opponent's deck is basically the deck you want to play right now if you want to punish the Elf Swarm and Congregate Swarm and all that kind of stuff. It's a very wide meta at the moment. The run's going to do good. That one's pretty much a shame. I think we played that as well as we could. We just got a little unlucky, not hitting things like Fallen Knight earlier. You really need the Fallen Knights for the points. And you kind of saw, even in such a super short round, they played for quite a few points, but this is what it is sometimes. It is what it is. Alright, before this game starts, I've got a rep. At the moment, probably not going to be able to show the t-shirt, but that, beautiful. Let me get my hair off of it. Absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm just doing this because I'm a good friend and all that kind of stuff. My friend, I don't know if you'll have seen him in. If you've been on my Twitch chats, you might have seen him. My boy George, he's like one of my mods and like one of my oldest friends and stuff. He does t-shirts and things like that. Started up his own little website and they're actually really good quality. I was gonna buy one anyway, but I'm very impressed. So I'm obviously gonna plug that here. At least give the stuff a look. If you don't want it, that's fine. I'll just tell him his stuff's shit. That's fine. But yeah, give his stuff a look because it's genuinely good and he deserves a bit of exposure. For sure. And just trying to distract myself from the fact that this is almost certainly Vi. Oh, which is gonna hurt. Yep, this one is gonna hurt, boys. The positive thing is we might be able to outpoint some. In round 1 anyway. I'm not too sure about the later rounds. In fairness, I maybe should have greeded these out even more, you know? Just delayed when we actually spent this battle. Because our boy Cyrus is in, which is obviously. So you know, let's just start absolutely spamming board with units that benefit from spawning. And then we're just going to spawn a ton of units. Use Deer Zero. Pray that's enough. Because that's all we can really do right now. I mean, in fairness, it's not looking horrible. You know, we are gaining like 5 points a turn. Our leader represents 5 points, 7, 8, and like 10-point leader. So we've got like 30 points in our leader, which seems ridiculous, but it's true. It's true. Work the maths out for yourself. You spawn a 2, boost all of these by 3. You can spend that 1 coin to do it again. So each tick is going to flip for 10. There's value to be had here. Definite value to be had. Honestly, we could just play a Helveed for value. Sacred. I think we're going to need the Sacred Flame, so yeah, I'll do that. It does obviously block up Von Hurst, but we've still got this for 2 to get stuff going with. We can like use a leader, click Tier 0 next turn, and that should be round winning. I haven't really paid attention to how many tutors. The views in Nero, obviously, Warraquax. God, the things I would do for an Erden right now.
Remove his cowl, then his ear.
Oh. Click. And honestly, they have to pass here, right? Ahead. I don't think. I could be wrong. Could be wrong, but I don't think they can pull ahead here. Because what's theirs up to? He's up to like 16 now, isn't he? Yeah, it's up to 16. So the most they can play is like 19, like 21 points, and that's just not enough. They can go like 2 cards down, and that's kind of fine if they want to do that. Yeah, the next one plays for 15. Okay, ahead of that.
I'll show my mother she's wrong.
That's good. 2 tutors used. Get that one out. A little annoying, but procs on these are just enough. But okay. If I'd have known that villain was coming, I would have used the leader. Jammed up on board. But I think this is fine. You know, pull ahead by 2 cards. That's fine with me. We'll just have to see what they choose. This is a hand that can get stuff done, or can at least survive around here if they push. Yeah, I kind of didn't expect them to. I expected a pass. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you pass there. There's Vi. Because you don't want... Like, Vi kind of thrives in a short round, right? You know, they want to get to that short round. And a short round obviously really punishes me. So, yeah, actually, the more I think about it, the more I think that it is what it is, I guess. Very good. I guess we can actually just go Cyrus and get a Firesworn, a Fallen Knight even. Just really wouldn't mind that Damnation. Are there any mulligans that are worse? My fear is like bricking Ulrich. I'm honestly considering like just cutting Ulrich, because he feels very expensive for what he's doing. But that is a thought for another time, I guess. Okay. So obviously let's go with it. I am gonna play around the possibility of just something stupid like natural selection. I don't love the idea of natural selection. Oh, we can start bringing out like the Eternal Fire Priests as well, I think, before we go super committal. And I think that kind of sums it up perfectly, right? Kind of what I was saying about the value of the Eternal Fire Disciples. Like, Helveed is already like pretty good in this deck, and he costs 2 to spawn a Zealot. I mean, sure, you don't have cooldown, but the amount of points you get is, quite frankly, insane. Yeah, we'll kill that. Fire Priest out. We could kill both of these, but I honestly don't think that's worth it, to be honest. Honestly, do not think that's worth it. The reason I held on to this Keeper of the Flame is like we could just play with Ulrich. It's kind of whatever. Is it worth this? Question. I would argue it probably isn't right now. Let's say we do that. Go down to 4 coins. We've got plenty of time to fill up the board. I think it might be actually. It's pretty 50-50 if it's worth it here.
Win that. The orders decline began.
We'll pop in there. No, we're not spending. Review there. Wait, how come we could have done? Oh my god, I completely forgot. It gets reduced for every allied cleric, so we could have done it for like 1. But no, this one will be free. It's fine, it's fine. Actually, yeah, it would have been free. That was really stupid. I completely forgot I just don't use this card. So that one's on me. That one's on me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I think you can kind of see we might well have this one. Might well be in the bag. I don't know about you, but this looks pretty good to me. I did do it. I know. Right, let's get the value there. Yeah, this is definitely a bug. So what, I missed like 2 points. So if I lose by 2 points, that one's up. But I think we got this. You definitely got this, right? Even I can't make up these points. Oh, we got another large number. I'm not even sure how many points this is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, because that has Intimidate. So this is a lot of points. We can lose 2 points to boost that, but defense. Good stuff. Yeah, I kind of like this deck. I think those 2 games kind of highlighted perfectly how this deck goes. Obviously Rain is really gonna ruin this deck, but points is like quite insane. The point output is really insane, especially if you can get around where your opponent's not really touching your stuff, which you're gonna get against Vi, because they're playing the same kind of like solitaire game against you, where they're doing their own thing and they're letting you do your own thing, and you can just generate ridiculous points if you're left to it by just setting up several clerics, setting up Fallen Knight. And I mean, even in that round, I dropped points because of some sequencing, because I'm kind of dumb. I haven't played Firesworn in ages, but it was still more than enough. So, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.